and good evening. It is the AFL Armchair Advisors. We are back for season 2021. And fellas, call us the Turtle Man because we are now doing this in live action. Yes. Yeah, that is appropriate. That is the appropriate response in this scenario, of course. I'm Rich of the Armchair Advisors. Joining me, of course, is my main man, this sensible sensei. It's Sensible Dan. How are you, mate?
I'm dead keen, mate. I'm excited to get back into some footy.
Been a long road. Been a very long road. And when it comes to long roads, there is not one man in this room that has walked further, harder, longer, faster. He's basically the Daft Punk of the Australian journalist landscape. It's our global field correspondent, Desmond Van Bus, wearing what might be either the world's greatest shirt or worst shirt ever. I can't decide.
Hey, I'm living my best life, and I've got a secret for you guys.
Ooh.
It's not much of a secret now, but it was a secret about 10 minutes ago before the pod. I am now the captain of the Biscuit Club. I'm rocking everyone who loves ice vovos, spicy fruit rolls, and any other assorted biscuit from the Southern Hemisphere, because that is what I'm rocking on my shirt today. So for those that are into the Southern Hemisphere's assorted biscuits, I'm here for you guys.
What deep, dark depths of hell did you get that from? Where has that even been made?
Hey, as they say, that is for Des to know, and that's for you to find out.
I genuinely can't work out what the fabric... I don't know what fabric that is. It doesn't correspond to anything I've ever seen, touched. Does it breathe well?
It's fantastic. It's actually the best shirt I've ever worn in my life. I'm actually enjoying it.
Heard it here first.
What does that tell you about the man's dress sense and choices?
Everything.
Either elite or terrible. But we are not terrible. We are indeed elite. Last year, we presented the show. It was on podcast format. We were providing our game previews for every single game of the round, our best bets and tips, and who we thought was going to win and why. Things to throw a little bit of just Salt Bay, a few little dollars onto. You know how it is. Of course, any of the tips and bets that we provide here this evening or on any subsequent shows, not financial advice, are they, gentlemen? So if you back a multi that falls over, sorry, don't at us. We're all in this together. As ScoMo enjoys telling us, we're all in this together. So now, fellas, let's rip straight into it. Round one. I've done my homework. I hope you fellas have got notes or something.
Of course.
I do.
So,
Of course.
yeah.
I'm Mr. Note. Look at this shirt. This shirt is a living, breathing note.
It's got more writing on it than the notes I provide, but that's totally fine. All right.
More tales than the Bible. Just looking at it.
More Tails than Sonic and Knuckles and Tails, whose name was, did what it said on the tin. All right, fellas, let's leap into it. Game number one, round one, game one, beautiful. Thursday evening at the MCG. It is the Richmond Tigers versus the Carlton Blues. A couple of new faces. I figured for this round, we'll just go through the new faces and see who's who. For Richmond, none. So that makes life easy for anyone playing along.
Delicious.
And Carlton obviously got Sard, who will be playing. Williams out for round one after committing bodily harm on Hunter Clark, I think it was. Yeah, put him in the hospital. He's
Idiot.
Still there.
Idiot.
Rip to his mama. Anyways, boys, tell me who's winning this one and why.
But I think we know the answer to that question.
No, I'm being unbiased.
I think it's been the same answer for potentially the last, potentially my whole lifetime, or since I've started this. I've got Richmond winning 1-39. There's probably not going to be many games this year where I'm not going to tip Richmond. And Richmond 1-39 is being nice. Normally it's a close game for the first quarter and a half, but Richmond will come strong here, I think. There's just...
Well, it was 2 or 3 years ago that Carlton kicked the first 5 goals, I think it was, and everyone was sort of thinking, hold on a tick.
They're here.
Hold on a tick, and then proceeded to kick about none for the rest of the game. So, look, Tigers, crown jewel of the comp. They're the best team in the league, still are. As you rightly said, they've made no new additions, but why fix what isn't broken? You don't need to. Blues are on the up, spend a lot of money, like you said. Zach Williams already been turfed, so... That's no good. Who I'll be watching in this game? Sam Walsh. You would expect he's going to go to another level. First 2 years in the league, he's looked really good. And Sam Doherty. Can he find his pre-injury form? He's also had a testicle removed in that time. So
he's lighter.
What?
He's a lighter man.
When?
This off-season. Yep.
He had a ball removed.
He did.
Yeah. How did I not hear about this?
And
I'm a friggin' expert.
On the podcast,
shows what I know.
On the podcast here, we're the 2 ball experts. So
you've got you've got literally the dick in the middle, surrounded by a pair of balls.
Yeah, balls, no balls, mate.
Cheap, well.
Yeah, so he's had a rough trot over the off-season, but testicle injury is not. It's not a soft tissue injury. It's not going to affect your athletic ability. It's no pubic overload. So, look, Tigers 1-39. Cheeky little stat. 9 out of the last 10 round 1 matches between these two have gone over the total.
Boy, oh boy.
Which leads me to my best bet, which is over 170.5 at $1.88.
Nice and easy there.
Easy money for mine, especially what we saw in the pre-season. There could be some seriously inflated scores.
I'd have thought so. Look, Tigers have won the last 10 against the Blues. Do you genuinely expect that there's going to be any difference in transmission on Thursday night? I wouldn't have thought. Unless Richmond really have an absolute spud evening to start off the year and Carlton play the best football they've ever played. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And Hooley's the only one missing for this round 1 team. It's the full premiership squad here at the minute. I'm curious though. Look, Carlton's focusing on a lot on their offense, like that rebound off of halfback. They've got Sard. He's going to roll through. They arguably wanted Williams to play a bit more of that sort of defensive, pushing forward kind of mid.
Yep.
And then, as I said, to push forward, kick a few goals. He'll probably rotate with Jackie Martin. Obviously, no Williams, but I expect to see that rebound game, see them trying to get that going. Although I don't know who to. Who's kicking the goals for Carlton in round 1? Jack Silvani?
Nasty. That's a nasty line right
Yeah,
there.
I don't want to discuss this. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, mate. And just on that, I'd actually almost argue that at this point in his career, Hooley's even best 22 anyway. I reckon the Tigers are pretty set. Yeah. Even without him, I don't think it makes a lick of
Not
difference.
really. I just see Richmond, like, you talk about that rebound off the half-back line. Like, that's going to go...
For Carlton?
That's going to go... For Carlton.
Yeah.
And that's going to go straight into Richmond's hands. And they're just going to feed it straight back in. If they want to just play tic-tac, which Richmond aren't going to do. Richmond are going to kick goals, so...
Straight down Jaden Short's throat. Another 43 disposals.
Yum.
Thank your mother for the rabbits.
Thanks for dinner.
I did see Jakey Arts, though. I've had one bet for this game.
Just the one. Okay.
Just one.
That's
just
fine.
one. It's a little multi-builder.
Better to have one that gets up as opposed to 6.
And it's multied in with a couple of little things. But I like Jakey Arts, $1.45 anytime goal, because I think they're going to be kicking plenty of goals. And Jake Hart, if you watched the podcast last year, you know I'm a bit of a SULT for Jakey Arts. So
he's a student of Defence Against the Dark.
SULT.
What did I say? Oh, salt. Did I say SULT?
You salt.
I'm a salt. There's my Mason Cock of the day.
I'd probably call you a dolt. What a knob.
I'm a salt.
Did I say salt? Oh. All right, Jake. Well, I'm a salt for you.
Oh my God.
Deary me.
So
look, 7 minutes into the first one and...
butchered it irreparably. Look, let's move on from this, but I will give you a little multi if you're a fan of the same game multi. What I'm liking the look of is Richmond to win, Sammy Walsh 20 touches, Dustin Martin 20 touches, Castagna 1 goal. Put that together, that's paying $2.50. I know it's 4 legs and it's low odds, but tell me which one of those is realistically not going to come off.
I can't think of it.
Thank you very much.
Disposals market's finally back in the limelight. Last year was it was a shambles because of those quarter lengths. So I'm looking forward to dabbling in that again.
Also, I'm very interested. A lot of Carlton's previous games, I don't mean this year because there hasn't been any, but a lot of Carlton's previous games, they've been front-ended in terms of scores. The first half has typically been a higher scoring one, and we saw what happened in the trial game. Carlton were there, they had a mission. So I'm expecting, or if you're thinking along the same lines as myself, that the first half will be the highest scoring half, and with the longer quarters coming back in, legs getting tired towards the end of the game, fatigue setting in, very possibly, that's paying $2.01.
I like it.
On certain betting markets.
I
so
like
look them up. Look them up.
Not bad.
Shall we move on, gents?
We shall.
Lovely. Friday night at the G, the home of football. We have the Collingwood Magpies versus the Western Bulldogs. Now, a couple of new faces for the Pies. They've got young Ollie Henry, brother of Geelong's Jack, coming in. He's got his debut. Fantastic. Good for him. Lovely to see.
Yep.
And for the Dogs, they don't have too many new names, but the ones they've got, boy oh boy, they've got big Steffi Martin in the middle. And they've got Adzi Treloar, who they reckon will be right to go as of round 1 to face the old outfit.
The old flame.
Des, what's your thoughts on this one, mate?
You know, I was on the Dogs train, and I think about a year ago, well, that's actually a little bit, it'd be about a year ago, before COVID struck, and I backed in the Doggies to smash the Pies. I remember watching that game, and it was potentially the worst football I saw of 2020, that Dogs outfit, when they got romped by Collingwood.
That's right, because we were all sat here saying, Dogs top 4 this year.
Oh,
and
I was
it started
tickling
from
the
there,
old
what's
tank.
going on?
I was going to say, me and you were right on the Dogs bandwagon. I believe you actually tipped Collingwood.
I might have done.
Yeah, me and you were right on the Dogs bandwagon, and they proceeded to pants us.
Whatever the Dog's mascot is, or Barry the Bulldog, I was tickling his taint all week. And then the Dogs left me hanging. But I'm going to do it again. I think Dogs going to win 1-39. That midfield is just going to be too good. even if they don't know where they're going to be playing, like you think 7, 8 elite midfielders running around the park, it's going to be too much for Collingwood, especially with everything going on. Like, I think Collingwood are going to have some teething problems to start the year. They'll probably come good. I'll back them in to come good. Kind of, as we have mentioned in the past, I've got them around that kind of middle 6.
Yeah.
Maybe miss the 8, maybe get in. Kind of depends, but it's going to take them a little bit to get to that stage.
I mean, and I think if nothing else, Adam Treloar's going to have a bit of shit on the liver.
Boy,
and,
oh boy.
And I would think that he's going to want to, even though he hasn't really done anything in the preseason, it's not going to matter because that adrenaline and that drive he's going to have a massive game. I think. I'm very much the same as you, Des. I think Dogs are going to get the job done here. I think the Pies are getting a little bit too much disrespect for my liking. They have undergone some list overhaul, but they're still a good football outfit.
In the off-season, Tribe, as Crows fans will attest, a bad off-season that will write your story.
Yeah, but I think it could be quite cathartic for Collingwood. Now that it's all out in the open, everything's all said and done. The only thing that's still hanging over him is that Buckley contract, and I think he's going to be sweating bullets over that, to be honest with you. Yeah. So whether that plays a role as the season progresses, we'll see how we go. But yeah, Dogs 1-39.
And $1.80 just from the win outright, I think is pretty good. Like, I think like if I had to mark it, I'd probably, what would you put it? $1.55 to $1.60. So anything above that is value, like real value.
I think you're spot on. Look, this is interesting. I'm really looking forward to this game more so than the Thursday one, to be honest with you. The Dogs, great midfield. Get it up north into the forward line. We're not seeing anyone really announce themselves as that big key forward at the moment. Yep. Now, the Pies, however, great back line, depleted midfield though. And again, forward line, what's going on? Is Mason Cock, is he up today? Is he down today?
It's not September, mate.
Is Cock up or down?
He'll be down.
It's floppy.
It's on the flop.
It's a wet noodle.
It's big noodle sizzling. So I mean, it'll be a battle of the mids and the weird forward lines. I'll be very interested to see it. I'm thinking, what sort of role does De Goey play? Because everyone else on, I think, both teams is more or less a known quantity. We know what to expect. Wherever they put De Goey, it's going to be like a larger gentleman doing a cannonball into a pool. Do you know what I mean? You're going to know about it no matter where you are, in the deep or shallow end.
He's the fire starter. He is absolutely the fire starter for the Collingwood. If they play him strictly in the midfield or a 75-25 split, he's going to be super dangerous. But, as you said, if Mason Cox isn't firing, they're going to have to get someone in there to start scoring goals, and I think it'll fall on De Goey's shoulders.
No side bottom either. So there'll be a lot of heavy lifting done by Pendles and Adams. In terms of a multi, don't know what you blokes are looking at, maybe trickling a couple of dollars onto, but I'm thinking just a nice simple one here. Bulldogs win. Bont to kick a goal. Because I see that.
He's going to go forward.
He's going to have to go forward with that midfield. Yeah. It's going to have to go forward at some point. Treloar, 30-plus touches. A man, it's a grudge game. It's round one. He's got shit on the liver. If you're liking those three put together, $4.33.
Delicious.
It's a nice little narrative bet there.
If there's one thing we love, what do we love?
We love narrative bets.
We love a narrative
bet. They never let you down. The narratives always come true.
Always. Even when they don't, they still do.
Always.
Excellent. All right, game 3. First game of Saturday in the afternoon, I believe. Mm-hmm. It is indeed at the MCG again. We've got the Melbourne Demons hosting the Fremantle Dockers. A couple of new faces for Melbourne. Very possibly with James Jordan in the middle. Waiting to hear teams, of course. We don't know at this stage what the dealio is. And very possibly Majak Daw might slot into that forward line.
That's exciting.
Wouldn't be surprised if it happened. For the Dockers, they've got the big ruckman in Lloyd Meek. And they've also got the big four. Is he a big forward? Heath Chapman? I'm pretty sure.
Defender.
Defender, is he? Sorry. Is he listed as a dual in fantasy?
Quite possibly.
That could be where I'm coming from.
I've heard some very good things about Chapman. Mm-hmm. I've heard some very, very good things about Chapman.
A lot of positive stuff.
A lot of positive things. I think it might have been a little bit of a steal in the draft. We'll have to wait and see, but...
Time will tell. I'm thinking this is a danger game for the Ds already. I don't want to be that knob, that sits on Fox Footy or your other sort of panel shows that's just given spurting out overblown statements too early on in the piece. But seriously, hear me out here. Round 1 for the Demons, I genuinely think against Freo in Melbourne, danger game. This is the sort of team, this younger Freo outfit that's still just emerging out the other side of a rebuild, that a premiership contender like the Demons are or think they are, or certainly have supposedly the lists, They've got that continuity. This is the sort of game you have to put away, especially when it's being played at home.
Correct.
This will set the tone going forward from here for the rest of their season, I think.
Yep.
But not to take anything away from the Dockers, mate. Loved everything I've seen from them in that pre-season. Played well against the Eagles both times. Yeah, it was only a trial game. That's fine. We know that. But Brayshaw, Sarong, Chera, these young mids, but they've got an average age of about 22.
I'm excited about it.
And they're killing it. Fife in there, again, damaging in the middle, send him up forward, damaging up there against the established heads of Petrarca, Viney when he's right to go, Oliver. I'll be very, very interested to see how these two midfields stack up.
Look, my argument to that is who's going to score the goals for Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
They've tried to improve their scoring power, and it's already completely in ruin. Or we're hearing a lot of talk about Maxi Gorn going forward, and that's going to inevitably affect the ruck work. Luke Jackson's still young. I know he's going up against Lloyd Meek, but you would think Lloyd Meek being in the system a little bit longer, he's probably going to have a little bit of wood over him. So I don't really agree with that. I think the Dockers are going to get the job done here.
I didn't say I was tipping Melbourne. I mean, I am tipping Melbourne. I'm tipping Melbourne 1-39.
I was intimating that's what you were going with. Yeah, I'm tipping the Dockers here. I really like what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
If you listen to the earlier podcast in the off-season, I'm big on the Dockers this season. I think they're going to make a finals push. So I'll be tipping the Dockers 1-39. And interestingly, the D's have lost their last 4 round 1 matches when they've been a favourite.
Eek.
Yeah, that's the sort of stat that we like.
And I'm going to jump on Dan's. We called each other the Testy Brothers. So I'm going to continue on that.
It's a work in progress, the name.
Yeah, so that's not winning any tag team titles anytime soon. No, I think the Dockers are going to get up too. It was very, very close for me to bring out the old the Des dog, but it's not the Des dog of the week. It's not confirming. It's coming a bit later, so get excited. But no, I think the Dockers are going to get up. I think the Dockers are going to get up. I think they're just this is just a typical letdown spot that Melbourne love to lose. Like, they just do. Like, well, they might not love it, but I love to watch them lose. And I love to make money off of it because $2.75 for Freo, and say you put that with something like an anytime goal scorer. Yeah. It could be anyone. Put Matt Tab in there. If he's paying $1.10, guess what? Because you get a multi-boost, that sucker. So put in $1.10. That's a little sneaker. He's going to kick a goal. Yep. It's going to bump it up to what? Something like
Freo head-to-head was actually my best bet for the round. 275.
Yeah.
Yep.
275 is still.
I love it.
I love it. I do love it. And I think that might go up.
I think that their quite quick ball movement is going to work beautifully on the open expanses of the MCG. So I think they'll get the job done.
And I think it's good value too. Like, I always look at it as value when I'm betting, especially head-to-head. And Freo could lose this by 2 points, but I'm going to say they lose by a small margin because they're not getting blown out. I can't see it at all. They're too much spirit from those young guys. Like, they're going to play.
And their defense is
footy.
good.
It genuinely is.
But they're not going to get blown out. So say they do lose, betting on them at 275, those value spots are going to come up more than they're not.
You can't lose. But you can't.
They're going to come up more than they're not. So if you keep punting on those 275s throughout the season, especially from hard fighting teams like the Dockers, you're going to make some money eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could have a little bit of S on the liver, so to speak, this year. You know what I mean?
275 is disrespectful.
I think it is too. I agree.
I'm still sticking with Melbourne, sticking fat with Melbourne. I've got to play the devil's advocate here. Pardon the pun, sorry about it. But if you like a little multi, I've heard your bets, boys, and I like it. Now, just hear me out on this one. A little multi is a 3-legger. I'm thinking under the total points, under 163.5. Mm-hmm. Now, look at Melbourne's forward line.
I love it.
Exactly. Now, look at Freo's forward line. Mm-hmm. Is Tab going to be playing? Very possibly.
I think if they can, they will get him in there because without Rory Lobb, I mean, they're running on fumes.
See, so you've got two misfiring forward lines at best. Yeah. And Melbourne, I seem to recall saw some sort of stat that's something like 4 of their past 5 or something like that. They've gone under the total. So I'm liking the under. 163.5. Petrarca 1 goal. He's going to have to go forward. Who else is doing it? And Petrarca 20 plus touches. 3 legs, $3.30.
Mm-hmm. Not bad.
Love it.
Not bad.
Delicious.
Job done.
Wets the lips a little bit.
Wet my whistle. Game 4. Oh boy, get excited because this will be Saturday afternoon at the Adelaide Oval. It's the Adelaide Crows versus the Geelong Cats. I think we can punch through this one pretty quickly, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's fait accompli, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Yeah, look, new faces for the Crows. Very possible. We might be seeing Haitley. I hear he's got a bit of a groin injury at the minute, so possibly not. Maybe Berry gets a run. He looked pretty good during the pre-season and he battled manfully, even though he's a young lad. Could get a Guernsey. Mitch Hinge, I think, did he get through that trial game unscathed?
Yep.
Could be an option in the back line for him, so there's a bit for the Crows fans. Cats, you got Smith, who's a new face at 32. You got Higgins in there as well at 42, and you've got Cameron in there at 5 metres and 20 centimetres. Mm-hmm. So that's a nice couple of additions for the Catters.
5 metres and 20 centimetres, that is cock size?
I think you've got to be classed as a penis at that size. You can't be a cock anymore. No way.
Yeah, look, as you said, fait accompli. It's going to be one-way traffic. But if you're a Crows fan, which I am, you just got to look at the individual battles and hope that the kids can get the job done against some of the more experienced heads. I'll be quite happy if, say, Nick Murray can do a job on Tom
Nick
Hawkins
Murray.
and keep him to 2 goals or something. I think that'd be a pretty reasonable sort of outcome. Looking forward to seeing Jordan Clark got named to play today. So
Indeed.
only got 3 games last year. Deserves far more than that. There's a couple of Cats youngsters that are in the same boat. Him, Charlie Constable, another one.
Is Clark spot in the team dependent on Duncan? Can you play both?
Yes.
I mean, you can play both, but if you've got Duncan playing his role, where does Clark go?
Well, there's spots in the team. I mean,
it's a good problem to have if you're Scott.
I mean, look, Zach Tui's a bit long in the tooth as well. Not that I don't think he's a good player, very capable, but I mean, at some point in time, inevitably the younger kids are going to overtake you. And I think Jordan Clark looked in that preseason game like we've said it twice before, he's got some shit on the liver. Doesn't want to play 3 games again this year. He wants to play 22
and a flag.
So
damn
look, Geelong 40 plus. Best bet for the game. Adelaide less than 60 points.
Yeah.
$3.40 on Sportsbet.
Oh. Really?
To kick less than 60 points for a game.
Because they had 45 against the Power last week.
Yeah, and Geelong's defence, I would argue, is probably more airtight than Port's.
There's 6 blokes made of flubber. Every time the ball comes in,
so less than 60 points, $3.40. I mean, come on.
That's tasty.
Mate,
that is very tasty.
Based on the way the preseason's gone, Tex is going to have to kick 8 of them, and James Rowe's going to have to chip in with 3, and that might just get him there.
I'm excited to see how Jimmy Rowe goes.
He's
in
a bright
the tight
spot.
defense.
Sorry, I keep missing supposed Crows fans in here, and I keep missing the new names for the Crows. Jimmy Rowe, best of luck to him.
It is hard to get excited, but look, as I said, look at the individual battles. Just keep your eyes on the kids, and look, we're all in this together.
Well, being the captain of the Biscuit Club,
which one are you here?
Southern Hemisphere.
Which one are you here?
Oh, I think I'm the Ice Vovo, or I'm the Chocolate Wheaton. I would love to be the chocolate.
Just can't choose.
I'd love to be the Chocolate Wheaton.
Well, how can you stop at one?
But I could also be the Kingston Cream, because
that is 100%.
I mean,
that's your hip hop name now.
The best part on the back, because virtually the entire back of the shirt is a Jats cracker. So
there's a chalk finger there that dead set looks like a doo-doo.
We might post that on the Insta stories so everyone can have a look at it later.
May have to, but I'm looking at this as a Crow supporter because Geelong are going to win. Geelong are going to get up, and that's okay. That is okay because we've got potentially the premiership, really one of, if not the premiership contender besides Richmond, and the wooden spooner besides North Melbourne. So we're really looking at number 2 and number 17 here. So Geelong going to get up, but if Adelaide can hold them 1-39, Geelong 1-39, I think that's a win.
And in fairness, they were competitive last year against them, the Crows. They were competitive. So who knows? Maybe we might be surprised. But in terms of bets, things to have a poke at. Look, I don't mind the Cats to win 40 plus. I think that's pretty easy money. And Tommy Stewart to continue doing Tommy Stewart things. 20 plus touches, and this man is the king of the junk time stat, as we know.
I wouldn't be surprised if Tommy Stewart has 20 marks. You saw last week what Port did to him in the trial game. Mm-hmm. Boy, howdy. Tom Stewart loves a slut touch.
Assault touch.
Assault touch, yes. And I do too. And I love Tommy Stewart, and I would just love to see that.
Well, look,
I'm all over it, mate.
If you think the Cats are going to win by 40 plus, and Tommy Stewart's going to have 20 touches.
I do, and I do.
Those two are paying $3.60 together.
That's delicious. And then if you chuck your other money on the Crows not to kick 60... Who boy?
Can I also say a little money doubler is Jeremy Cameron. 3+ goals paying $2. Now, I know 3 goals is a few.
Nah, it's not.
Tommy Hawkins. A, it's the Crows, and B, Tom Hawkins and Cameron in that forward line now means that Hawkins gets to get on his bike a little bit, push further up the ground. If Cameron's your stay-at-home forward, and it's his first game for the club, they are going to want to do the man right.
I think it'll probably be more the other way around. Cameron being a bit younger, a few more...
You reckon?
Yeah.
I think he's more a stay-home forward, but there you go. It's just
Hawkins is, mate. He's got the body. Just ask him.
You mean he's lazy?
Just ask him. Yeah,
he's fat.
That too. Look, either way you slice it, they're both going to be up for a handful. One of them's going to get Nick Murray, who's playing his first ever game at the level. The other one's probably going to get some combination of Jordan Butts, Andrew McPherson, whatever other shit kickers on him. It could potentially be an absolute whitewash. You could see both of them kick 5.
Fantasia in the trial game had 3 goals, 3, and that man's groins and hamstrings fell out in the preseason. If he's going to do that and come in day one for the Power, undercooked, looking like a wet noodle, as a man likes to say.
I'm nervous.
What's Cameron going to do?
Good luck to the Crows, boys. I'll finish with that.
Boy, oh boy. Right, I think we need something to perk the spirits up a little bit. Now, if you are a fan of the podcast in the past, you will know the man sitting next to me here, our very own Desmond Van Bus, he's got a little scramble that he likes to do. He's a little 60-second scramble.
It's time.
Is it time?
He likes to do it. I
That's
don't know.
not how anxious
I
these
don't know
make
that
me.
I like to hear it.
No.
Yeah, I know exactly. Uni exams, dates, doesn't matter. This, the scariest thing you can possibly do in your life.
I had a court hearing a month ago. I didn't, that's a lie. But I was nervous. I wasn't as nervous for that as I am for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, neither am I.
As they
Is that
say.
your face?
It is.
That's great.
As they say.
I'll be saying that in about 3 seconds when he asks the first question.
Big Van Vader said, it's time, it's Vader time. Guess what? It's Des time. The scramble is going to start right now with Dan. All right, Dan, what is Bailey Smith's favourite WB superstar?
Surely vintage Shawn Michaels with the big mullet.
Yes,
Respect that.
perfect.
Respect that. All right, Rich, which Port player loves the squat rack way too much?
Squat rack. Who's got big quads and who's got big thighs? Ollie Wines. Come on, the man. He's just a walking leg muscle.
A walking squat rack.
Done.
All right, Dan. What song does Oleg Markov listen to pre-game?
Anything Eshe by Spanion, probably. In fact, he has a song called Adelaide by Spanion, so probably that.
Boom. That's where he's from.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful. All right, Rich. Pick one celeb to come on the podcast. Who and why?
Oleg Markov.
He said celeb. Nah, jokes. Oh, crap. One celeb. Hulk Hogan.
Yes, brother.
He wouldn't know anything about anything, but
Yes, brother.
hey, brother, I love this sport you got here. Can you imagine?
What are you saying in the scramble, brother?
Yeah.
All
As long as he's bringing in the feather bowls, I'm on board.
Yeah.
Now it's time to turn on the heat. Dan, which Carlton player's secret nickname is Big Chungus?
Good God. Well, it has to be Mitch McGovern. I mean, it's too obvious.
I was going to whisper to you.
Yeah, nah, you didn't need to.
Chungus.
And boys, I've heard a rumour. In 2020, Tickle Torture tortured the AFL. Why is West Coast the main ticklers in 2021?
You know what? Because it's because Gaff never smiles. It's because Gaff never smiles, and they need to change that in 2021. It's all about the love at West Coast. If they get that man smiling, it's like Bill Belichick. If you get a smile out of him, you're onto a winner.
Absolutely.
Same with Gaff. If you get a Gaff grin, he's gone. He's gone.
All right, I've got a musical question for Dan.
This has been at least 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Doesn't
This is
matter, it's
ridiculous.
still funny.
Jesus.
Dan, which GWS player is a serial banger of the tambourine?
Of the
What does that
tambourine.
mean? Is that a metaphor? What do you mean?
Who likes to bang the tambourine in GWS?
I think under the radar, Toby Green would like a bit of that sort of stuff. He comes across like a bit of a hard head, but I think deep down he wouldn't mind a bit of tambourine
A
shaking.
bit of banging. Bit
of-
of tambourine banging. He's a serial banger. All right, Rich, final question. Who dresses up as a bee in their spare time and buzzes around the club to lift their mood?
Toby Green's been taken.
What in the blue hell?
And then what sort of a question is this? A bee.
Rory Laird. No, Rory Atkins, sorry. The rat.
It would be Atkins. That is absolutely something Atkins would do. Yeah. And
Got a bit of a buzzy vibe.
Sit on your lap.
The old
with
buzzy
his,
bee.
Just a pest, mate.
with his stinger.
And he would have learned it off Heath Shaw, probably. The original and best.
Oh, all right, I'm sweaty.
Nice one, Des.
I hate that. It's terrifying.
Did you like how I turned up the heat?
I mean, the heat's always up, to be honest with you. You never give us a breather, mate.
Oh, it's dreadful.
Every single week.
I love
And
it.
fellas, back to the footy. The heat will be on these two sides coming up next. Saturday night game at Marvel Stadium. We've got the Essendon Bombers versus the Hawthorne Hawks. Now, some new faces. There's a few in for both. Going to see some radically different teams here. We've got Caldwell, probably either Cox or Perkins, one or both of those for the Dons, as well as 2 metre Peter, Nick Hines. Who's that? Harrison Jones. So there's 6 off the bat
I
that
like
you
all
could
of them.
see.
I like them all.
Yep.
Got a bit about him. For the Hawks, Kazicki, after kicking 6 goals in a trial game, you can't not pick him on that. You got Tyler Brockman, kicked 3, can't not pick him off that. Tommy Phillips, looking sharp as attack.
Yep.
Sharp as attack, and Kyle Hardigan is going to slot in automatically in the back line for the Hawks there.
Yep.
Now, Des, you are itching to get into this one, I can see. Who's winning it?
It's a double Des dog of the week. Double Des dog of the week, and this time we have double Des because there's 2 Deses.
Thanks for explaining that.
Bombers
I'm not
are going to
work
get
that.
up. Bombers are going to get up. It's a double Des dog of the week. That's all I need to say. Do you know what? I don't even know why they're the underdogs because Hawthorne have had a horror pre-season, aka Patton and Scully incidents, aka Eek.
So say no more. We can say no more.
AKA Eek.
It's been said, mate.
Oh, it's been
It's
said.
all been said.
It's been AKA Eek. That's all I'm going to say, Eek. And that does play a toll on the team. And they weren't doing very well anyway. Like, they weren't travelling well. They should not be the favourites here. Like, I like Anthony McDonald-Tipungwuti, one of my favourite players in the AFL. Like, he's in the top 3 of the list of Des. That's all I like about the Bombers. That's all
chiseled into stone.
That's all I like about the Bombers, really. Like, take away all their footy, like, off the field. All I like about him is Anthony McDonald-Tipungwuti.
Yep.
Now, they even got rid of Danaher, and I liked him. Got rid of him too. So, like, really...
Did you like Worsfold?
No, not really.
Okay.
Not particularly. I respect him because he just made his money and left.
Man, what a flag. Made his money and left.
Made his money. For Essendon. I didn't like him at Essendon. That's my point. So, yeah, short story long, as they say. As they say, Ben Long. We, Bombers are going to get up.
Brilliant.
All that to say Bombers are going to get up.
Disrespectful.
Hey, look, that works. I actually agree with you.
Yep.
All that? Yeah, every word of it.
All right.
Thank you.
Play on.
Short
I
story
do not
long.
understand again. Look, if you've listened to any of the podcasts or any of our content ever, I don't like the Bombers.
No,
I never have. I've been pretty passionate in saying that.
Yeah, indeed.
But I'm a bit about them. I really appreciate this whole rebuild on the fly that they've done.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of a lot of deadwood and they've brought in a lot of guys that I think have got a fair bit of talent. I always liked Nick Hind at St Kilda. I thought he was in the complete wrong position. Now that he's off halfback, this game style, like the new rules suit him perfectly. An immediate replacement for Adam Sard, and could potentially be even better. Hawks, like you said, there's a few kids there that look like they might be all right. Cozzy kicking 6, huge. Tyler Brockman looks like a real jet. A lot of speed, which they needed last year. They had absolutely none whatsoever. I'm going to tip Dons 1-39, but I could see this being a bit of a close game. I do think both teams are probably going to still be anchored towards the bottom 6, but I'm looking forward to what should hopefully be an exciting game of footy. Also Tom Mitchell. He's made himself available to play, so no pre-season, nothing, just coming in and
that's a big reason why
getting it done.
I like the Dons.
Well,
even though I didn't say it.
When you got a big Brownlow swinging around between the agates, you know what I'm saying. You can pretty much pick and choose when you want to play and how you're going to do it. Mm-hmm. Look, it's all pretty much been said and done here. I think it's intriguing, although two teams that you would say are probably looking at the pointy end of a rebuild at the minute. I genuinely think that the Dons have got a bit more of there's just a fresh sort of lively sense to it. Mm-hmm. The new Rutten broom is sweeping clean by the look of it, and I'm thinking if they put up the effort that they did against Geelong in that preseason game, there is going to be a lot of teams that they're going to surprise along the way. Yep. So look, I'm with you boys. 1-39 for Essendon. We have our first. Well, we had Geelong.
We did.
Yeah, so that does. Oh, I missed it.
But Geelong was stupid, so let's just...
It didn't count, but it is a consensual... Yeah.
This is one you have to think on.
It is. It's a thinking man's bet.
Just quickly, I was just reading before, Zachy Merritt done a full pre-season. The high-performance manager said it's the best he's ever looked. He's running hard. He's doing a lot of extra on the track, which is awesome to see. He's a fantastic player anyway. If the Bombers can sneak towards finals... I'm not saying they will because I don't think they will. But if they sneak towards finals, see a bit of a smoky for a Brownlow?
No. So, multi-time.
Why not? Are you going to even indulge me?
The umpires can't even spell Zach Merritt. They wouldn't even be able to. They'd know Z.
This is a man that can't spell slut.
Yeah.
You better be bloody careful. You're on shaky ground here, Des. Yeah, but look,
hey, bad spellers know bad spellers.
It's a fair call. Look, all right, if we're taking that seriously... If he's racking up 30 touches a game, and if he can sneak forward and start jagging a few here and there, and if he's having a genuine impact on games, then why not? Why not? Absolutely. But we haven't seen him do that for sustained periods in his career to this point. It would be, I dare say, out of character, but he's got the...
How would it be out of character? He averages like 32 touches every single year.
How many Brownlow votes does he average a year?
Doesn't matter. Essendon's always
terrible.
terrible.
It kind of matters if you're winning the Brownlow.
The same amount of people as in this room.
The past is the past, mate.
New coach could very well be.
If he pulls this off, if he comes top 5...
I'm just reading the tea leaves, mate. He's an unbelievable player.
The seer, he's seeing the future. He's big sensible.
He is a sensible one. The sensible sensei.
This is interesting. Look, there's been dumber things said in this room, even this evening.
Salt.
Now, multi-time. Let me talk some bets real quick. I'm looking at a little multi of Hooker, 1 goal. He's too important for him up forward. Ridley, 20 plus.
Yep.
Off the halfback. Merritt, 25. Put them together, $3.10. Thanks. If you like Caldwell to have 20 touches playing in the middle, that's paying $2.40 by itself.
That's fair. I mean, look, Cal Hooker, ultimate swingman, can go anywhere. Jordan really took all the kickouts last week, I believe. So, Hawthorne has 6 behinds. There's 6 touches already. He's only going to get 14 round the ground, and I dare say they're going to be bombing it in, and he's going to be sweeping it up.
He had about 28 last week, so
He's
wait
nice.
and see. All right, let's punch on here. The second game on your Saturday night is going to be between the Brisbane Lions and the Sydney Swans up at the Gabba. A couple of new faces. The big one for the Lions, Joey Danaher. Big Joey D playing up forward. And for the Swans, got a couple of young blokes come in, which is fantastic for them. They have got Errol Golden. Sorry, Errol, I forgot that rule. They've got Errol.
He's just called Errol.
Errol was also the name of an owl in Harry Potter. Just FYI.
Respect that.
Fun fact of the day.
And a film star from the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And Errol Spence. Fantastic boxer, junior.
There you go.
When minds meet, it's unbelievable. Braden Campbell, Braden with an E, 2 E's, fantastic. Tom Hickey in
They couldn't have made that much harder, could they?
What, Braden?
Yeah.
No, they could have been
With
like an
2
I, maybe an I and a Y.
Braden with 2 E's.
Yeah.
Bradeen.
No, I'm going to die. I'm going to
Just
die.
stop.
I'm going to die. Braeden.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Brad. I thought you was called Bradeen. I was like, oh, that's nasty.
So they've got Braden Campbell playing, and they've got Tomb Hickey, and they've got Lou.
Tomb Hickey actually sounds tough.
Tomb Hickey, wow.
Tomb Hickey.
And he needs all he can get. The hell he can get. And Logan McDonald, he got drafted, I think, was he picked 4 this year? Yeah. And look, looking good. Well, we haven't seen much of him, but he's looked good in all the footage that they were playing and stuff prior to the draft.
Let's be honest, they need a key forward. Now.
Well, they do.
Right now.
Gentlemen, let me just ask you very quickly, how much is Buddy Franklin earning this year as part of his contract?
Isn't it 1.5?
Yes. It is 1.5.
The most expensive year of his entire deal.
Beautiful.
Imagine spending like $1.5 million on a race car, right? Like what's worth 1.5? A Bugatti or something like that, like a Veyron. Let's just assume.
Car guy, but yeah.
You spend 1.5 mil on like a G6 jet Desmond fan bus.
Like a G6.
Yeah, thank you. And then you immediately go and pour petrol over it and set fire to it and then walk away. That's realistically what they're doing with that 1.6 million.
Well, I feel like it's probably more like spending $1.5 million to buy one of those planes at Parafield Airport at the moment that have got the wings falling off.
Yeah,
and
it's just stuck on a stick.
Flat tyres.
Let me one up you. It's like paying $1.5 million for this biscuit T-shirt. It's not even a T-shirt, biscuit button.
No, but at least that's doing the job that it was bought to do.
And we did discuss this off air. Post Malone would pay that.
Dead set, he'd pay that.
Right up his alley.
Look at this. It's a Boston shortbread on a sleeve.
Look at it. It's a sticky fruit roll.
Yeah.
Right on my nip.
Spicy for starters. You idiot.
You are battling with the
What did I
English
say?
language today, so.
Look, let's get back to the footy just quickly. This is going to be somewhat one-way traffic. I think Brisbane Lions are going to get the job done.
In the second, I think the first half will be competitive, second half less so.
I think that they're going to get the job done.
Yes.
Sydney are rebuilding on the fly without admitting it. They're sort of getting these kids in, and they're not. They're still a finals chance with Buddy.
We're rebuilding.
Yeah, there's still a finals chance with Buddy if you listen to certain corners of the media. They're not. I'm going to be watching the couple of the Lions kids in this game if they do get a gig. Eli Smith, 2 years on the list now. Apparently he's finally decided to start eating right, actually taking the athlete life seriously, which is pretty interesting considering you've been in the league for 2 years and haven't done a damn thing about it and still on a list. So I appreciate that.
Tell him he's doing it wrong.
So he's obviously got some talent. And I'll be looking on the Sydney side of things at Nick Blakey.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like looking at him because he's not a
goober.
He's not a pretty portrait, but
Who is?
Well, that shirt.
The
But he's got all the attributes of a seriously good footballer. He can go anywhere on the ground and make an impact. 3rd year in the league, I think it's time for a breakout.
Ultimate swingman.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimate swingman. Interesting stuff. I'm having a look at this game and I'm thinking, look, this is a nice opening game at home for the Lions against a really solid 5 out of 10 side on the scale of hardness. You know what I'm saying? All eyes going to be on Danaher, of course. I think it's be interesting to see how Danaher performs if they're looking to him constantly, but then how Hipwood's role changes around that. Could that free him up? Because he's got a tank, loves to run.
Yep.
He's a great big loping gazelle of a man, and I think that's going to suit him.
Sydney don't really have any defenders to deal with those two.
No, they do not.
Dane Rampy is their big defender, really, and
Lloyd's moustache is big.
Yeah,
and
Lloyd's not a defender. He's a seagull.
Yeah, well,
he loves all the cheap. He's like the ultimate Tom Stewart, just all the cheap slut touches to get the ball out of defence.
The word is salt. The word is salt.
The salt touches.
That'll come on a shirt one day. That'll be on a shirt.
Who's going to stop Hipwood and Danaher? I could see them causing absolute mayhem.
Carnage, yeah.
To be honest.
Contested marks, look out. But on the Sydney side of things, before I will unleash the Des.
I'm making a big call.
I will unleash the Des. I'm thinking
call.
The Sydney side of things, once again, it's Papley, it's Parker, it's Kennedy, it's Heaney that'll be doing the heavy lifting. Roadbottom we saw a glimpse out of end of last year in the pre-season. He's going to have to really pull his socks up. It's time for the kids to start coming through, Mm-hmm. And they're in that spot. They know they're there. Mm-hmm. They know they're there. Lloyd's underdone. That's going to impact them more than they care to admit. I think the Lions make a statement early in the season here, boys. Lions 1-39. I think it'll be competitive for a bit, but Lions too much class across all fronts there. Mm-hmm. Des.
I'm making my big call.
Unleash.
And it's not Sydney to win. Brisbane are going to win this game. My call is, just like last year, I had Lions not to lose at the Gabba all year. They're going to go win. I was going to say winless. Oh, eek. It's been a tough day at the office, hey, making the debut.
Wherever you've been, obviously you weren't speaking English.
Obviously, I haven't been reading the dictionary.
Rusty.
Have not been reading the dictionary where I've been.
Rusty.
Nah, they're gonna go undefeated at the Gabba this year. Oh, undefeated at the Gabba this year.
Does this have any asterisks, like if they play in finals or anything like that, like the last one did?
Yeah, if Venus is in retrograde.
Or is it dead set?
To be fair, I made the call last year thinking they're going to play the grand final at the MCG. Yeah. I made it, and I backed them in.
Yeah, but there was asterisk, mate.
Yeah.
If I'm going to go to the sports bet right now and say Brisbane's undefeated at the Gabba, I want to know the terms and conditions, mate. I don't want to get to the final hurdle and then you say, "Oh, sorry, this isn't part of the deal."
The void.
The beautiful thing is, it's for the current season, and then if it's for finals, if I want it to be.
So I'll keep my money firmly in my pocket.
Brisbane, throughout the home and away season, Brisbane are going to go undefeated at the Gabba. They're going to do it again because, really, they're better than last year.
Yep.
They've added Danaher, which is a key piece they were missing. That nice goal. And he might not even kick, say, 2-3 goals, if not more, a game, because he doesn't have to. Just the presence of him is going to help that forward
automatically
line.
Draws your best defender every week.
Correct.
Also a shame. Peace and love to Cam Rayner. Hopefully you get better soon, mate.
I had a dream.
Torn ACLs. This man knows all about it. So hopefully you get back to your best.
Something to make you feel better, Cam. You were my first player in 2021. I had a dream about him. I had a dream. My first player in 2021 that I
How's this going to make him feel better?
Where are we going with this?
So you had a dream when he tore his ACL immediately?
No, I had a dream, and this was before he tore his ACL, that we were in the circus together. Trapeze. That's all I remember.
What's meth like?
Trapeze. Trapeze. Des and Cam Rayner on the trapeze. It was a fantastic dream. I slept like a baby that night.
Speaking of Harry Potter, like Errol before, when Harry was wearing that necklace in the movie and it makes him act funny, gets angry. That shirt is doing things to you. Yeah. It's melting your brain.
It genuinely is poisoning the man's soul.
I can see it coming out your ears.
I can't help what I dream. I'm the dream machine. And Cam Rayner, wish you all the love, mate, because I hope you have plenty of dreams about me.
You are mental. Right, I'm moving on with this.
Just quickly, let me wrap it up.
Hit me.
Right, the last little bit. So, Swans have failed to cover 6 of their last 7 times at the Gabba. The line is currently set at negative 23.5 for Brizzy.
I like that.
$1.90, lock it in.
$1.90, lock that in. We like that.
I like that.
Rich's multi, have a little look-see. Brisbane to win. Jared Lyons, 20-plus touches in the middle. And Jared Berry, look, I know it's a bit speculative, but he had a blinding pre-season. Pick him off that form. Jared Berry, 20-plus touches. He had 28 last week. Smacked them all together. It's paying something in the vicinity of I think it was $5 or $6, something like that. Can't remember. I didn't write it down. Slack.
I don't even think that is speculative. I think Jared Berry's pretty much about ready for a breakout.
Interestingly, Luke Parker, 1 goal, $2. I see that happening. He's going to have to be everywhere.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean he's going to kick goal, though.
No, I don't mind it, though.
Okay.
I've seen worse goal markets.
Oh, so have I. There's plenty worse.
There's been some tough ones, especially in 2021. Be careful in the goal scoring markets. There's some nasty ones there.
And as we said, none of this is financial advice, so don't at us. All right. Sunday games. Gentlemen, we're smashing through here. Sunday, lunchtime, North Melbourne, Kangaroos versus Port Adelaide Power. They don't like the word power, but it's in the song, so what are you going to do? It's at Marvel. New faces all the way around for the Roos. They've got your boy R2.
Bo Senevalagi.
Who will not be getting a game.
But he's there. And it's nice to have people. It's nice to have people.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And a sick last name.
Stevenson, Slim, needs to stand up. Pardon the really bad pun.
Look, I've got to clear this up real quick. Who called him Slim Reaper the other day?
I think it was David King. Maybe.
Now, you know who the Slim Reaper is.
No.
It's Kevin Durant.
That hurts me.
You're not going to tell me
That's disrespectful.
that you've heard that on an NBA broadcast and thought, yeah, Jaden Stevenson's like Kevin Durant. He's slim.
That is so disrespectful.
Was it David King?
Look, I don't want to do Kingy down. I don't know. I feel like it was one of them.
Whoever it was, you are an idiot.
Early dummy of the week.
That
could be early dummy of the
season.
year.
That is the worst call I think I've ever heard.
It's right up there. Idiot.
A 2% of Alagi's closer to the Slim. What do they call him? Slim Reaper.
He's going to be there. No matter what his name is, he's going to be there, as well as a couple of new draftees. I think the only one that's going to be playing is Tom Powell, I believe, in the box seat.
Big sample boy, let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Aiden Cord down the back, coming from GWS, which is fantastic. And Lockie Young from the Bulldogs. Yes, he's involved there as well. For Port, new faces, you got Bergman. Been in the system 2 or so years now, been itching for a go at it. It might only be one. Not sure, but...
Yeah, got drafted 2019.
There you
Only
go.
1 year.
So he's been there and thereabouts. He should be playing. Big Lockie Jones should be playing as well, the big fella. Aaliyah, Fantasia, some good ins there, especially off of what we saw. Now, let's punch through this one pretty quick because I think we know where it's going to go. Look, Kangas are going to get Colty. Very sorry about it, you know, and I feel like they've got a bit of spark. They're really genuinely trying to haul themselves off the canvas after a bad year, and you know, Shaw going, and bless up to big Reese. But look, interestingly, the Power, this will now be 3 soft games in a row coming into the year that they've had, which is probably not ideal for your preparation. You'd like a strong hit out to really test your mettle. I'll be interested to see what the Power do next week after having played in the Crows twice and the Roos. But having said that, Power, I think we'll try a bit of a younger backline with Bergman and Jones in there. They're full strength. The Roos are still going to be trying to settle on a best 22. I don't see this going and being anything more than what you expect. No. In terms of bets, I'll punch it out real quick. Port, 40 plus. I've gone a bit hog wild with this one, fellas. Port, 40 plus. Fantasia, 1 goal. Peter Laddams, 1 goal.
Like that. I like that.
Ollie Wines, 20 plus touches. And one for the Roos fans. Simpy, Big Jai, 20 touches as well. That's paying $5.25.
Yeah, I like that. Someone's got to have some touches for the Roos, so why not Jai Simpkin? Look, end of the day, Roos are in the same boat Adelaide were last year. They had to do a big clean out, and it's going to result in some very, very early pain. Getting Port straight away, not good.
Just get it done early.
Yeah, exactly. Rip it off like a Band-Aid. Port's going to be there in September.
Oh, goodness.
Just quickly, who I'm watching in this game is Jaden Stevenson. He had a lot of the footy in the trial match, so we'll continue to see whether that...
the Black Mamba, yeah.
Yes, the Black Mamba.
Yeah.
That's me.
And Zach Butters. There's always this, who's the best out of the 3 Port
let him play,
debutants.
damn.
Exactly right. He finished in the 40-man squad for the AA last year, which is an incredible achievement in your second year in the league. So hopefully he goes to another level this year and keeps growing. My tip is Port 40 plus, and that is why I'm also going to bring out...
What is going on?
My lock of the week. Port 40 plus, mate. Sensible Dan's lock of the week. It's the easiest money you're ever going to make in your entire life.
It's a double underline there.
There is.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious, mate. Yeah. The Roos have also failed to cover their last 8 round 1 matches. Now, if you don't want to take my lock of the week, you're an idiot. But also, the best bet is Port's negative 30.5, $1.90.
Like
okay,
that.
So if you don't want to spread to 40 points, 30.5, easy money. Very, very easy money.
Yeah, well, I got Port 40 plus as well. Port is just a real premiership contender, I think my 3 premiership contenders to start the season, Geelong, Richmond, of course, those 2 are obvious, and I really think Port are too. I think Port. I think they're the top 3, especially in my mind. And they're not going to lose to North Melbourne.
Only thing they're missing, could do with more for mine, is another big key forward to take the heat off of Dixon a bit. Marshall is not coming on like they would have liked. Georgiades still young. Laddams could be it. I'll be very interested to see.
Athletic, real athletic. You think of that great goal, like potential goal of the year if Jackie Noons didn't kick that unreal goal. In my eyes, not officially, because Jackie Noons got robbed. But
I actually personally think Laddams was a better goal. Nunes was a better moment. That's
it.
That's the difference.
That's it. But for him to do that as a big man shows you the potential. I really like Laddams, and I don't say that about many Port. Actually, I find myself saying it more about the Port players as as the years go on, which hurts me.
No, you're maturing. That's what it is.
If he ever
they're a very good side.
If he ever moves full time into the ruck, he is going to be
problematic for everyone
serious force. Serious force.
But yeah,
Indeed.
Port 40 plus.
Easy done, easy done. All right, other Sunday afternoon game is at the Giants Stadium between the GWS Giants and the St Kilda Saints. New faces for the Giants. We're looking at Tanner Brun. I believe it's pronounced. Good Brun, a good German name.
Did he cry? Was he the one that was crying?
No, he wasn't crying. He was just...
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, at least he's excited.
He's a Geelong boy, mate.
But I think, look, hey, if you
he wanted to go to Geelong.
If you don't like where you're at, you don't then come out and your very first outing for the club kick 4 goals. All right, so just
respect it.
Actions speak louder than non-verbal.
Be thankful to be in the league.
The old Matt Wurst. Is that what we call him? Because he's got the German name, Mr. Matt Wurst.
Steady.
Geelong will always be there.
Yes.
Dominate now.
It calls him home. But look, Brun, however you want to pronounce it, he's playing. Matty Flynn, congratulations to the big fella. He's not watching this, but congratulations to him anyways. 1,944 days between getting drafted and playing a game. That is ripping form, and we love that. Had a busted ACL in between time. Feel good story. Get around it.
Assistance.
On the other side of things, you've got Higgins. Feel good story. Good to see him back out. Tommy Highmore's coming in for the Saints. And another feel-good story, I think, in Paul Hunter, who spent 4 years on a list with the Crows, didn't get a Guernsey, and now he got cut out in no man's land. Next minute, he's lining up round 1 for a premiership contender. So we love that. We love that all the way around.
Yep.
Again, I'd like to punch this one out in short order.
Yep.
You know, a bit flabby in the middle. You know, let's suck in the gut a little bit.
Just real quick.
Hit me.
I've got a bit of egg on my face about Paul Hunter, as you do as well. When the Saints signed him, we gave a lot of lip service, thinking, why on earth would you sign a backup ruckman? Mm-hmm. And here we are 6 weeks later, starting for a premiership contender.
He's in humble pie.
Lots of it.
Oh well, Kieran Strawn, step up. That's what.
No, he'll go to Sydney or something like that and win a Brownlow, something dumb like that. I promise you.
Yeah, look, this is actually a tough game to pick first round up, because I don't know what the Giants are going to be. They are up and down at the best of times, but now they've got no one to kick their goals. Jeremy Cameron was their focal point. Some of the other guys, Finlayson, Himmelberg, and Riccardi, they're going to have to step up. Saints got a great list, but they're all on the injury list at the moment.
Well, yeah.
There's a lot of trouble there. So it's going to be interesting to see how Stephen Cornelio goes this year.
Indeed.
He's got to bounce back. They need more from him. Last year was a real down year.
Yep.
I would expect that he'll bounce back a little bit. I'm taking the Saints 1-39, but I don't know how confident I am on it.
It's his coin flip, isn't it?
I'm going to agree on that too, just because the Giants were inconsistent at best last year.
Grand final hangover.
I want to say they played some good footy, because they did in moments, but most of the time, Giants sharting in the bed was pretty much sums up what my kind of interpretation of their games were.
Their ball movement was just
oh my god,
glacial.
It was a team-wide
nice
issue. You know what I mean? It was a team-wide.
And I think that's going to continue. They've had all these young players. Jacko Haitley didn't leave. Jai Caldwell didn't leave for no reason. These, and more left. They're not core left. Yeah, exactly. And the team doesn't fall apart for no reason just because everyone wants to leave. They wouldn't want to leave if they weren't.
They're dynamic.
And that's exactly why. And you could see. And I think you could see. And now, and it makes more sense seeing all these young players leave last year. Watching them play, it all just kind of correlates. And I think they're going to be in for a tough year this year. A lot
Is the premiership window closed?
Oh, I think it is.
Comfortably. Comfortably.
Do you think they're going to beat? I do not see them beating Richmond at their own home ground, let alone at the MCG.
No.
Let alone under pressure.
I don't think the Giants are going to be really good enough to push for top eight at this point in time.
The
only reason I'm not tipping the Saints with full force is because of their injury list. That's literally it.
They're 2 blokes on that injury list being back in away from me tipping them.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it.
Yep.
GWS, I'm feeling a few parallels here between GWS and Collingwood this year. A lot of off-season drama with blokes leaving. Yep. You got a coach who's really got a fire lit under the arsehole, and he's worried about what his future's going to be in Leon Cameron and Buckley here. Forward lines are looking iffy. They've got Hogan in. They've lost Cameron. Cameron's another. There you go. Hogan in.
Yeah,
What's he going to do?
one.
What's Hogan going to do? The greatest potential forward since John Butcher. What's he going to do? Not saying he can't do anything, but what's he done thus far? So it's interesting to see where the Giants are going to end up this year. And this is a no-win situation for them, this game, the Giants. Think about it. Because if they beat the Saints, everyone's like, cool, you beat the Saints. They had half their squad out with injury. Right? If they lose, you're toasted. You couldn't beat...
Season's over.
You couldn't beat a depleted St Kilda at your own home deck. So there's no... I mean, I know you can only play who's in front of you, but there's no win here for them. Do you know what I mean? In terms of narrative-wise.
Ouch.
The only way that would get stopped is if they absolutely flog the Saints. And that's not going to happen.
I'd be stunned. Unless you start pulling out the golf clubs and balls and start knocking off more Saints players. Big Rip to Big King.
That was Toby Green, 100%. That's his MO.
What with the spud gun?
Yeah,
sure,
MO.
Sure. No Cameron means Himmelberg and Thin Lizzy are going to have to step up, so look out for that. Giants backline's looking very young. You've got Idun, if I pronounced that correctly. Hope so. Yeah, expert on deck. Idun, Ash, and Cumming in the backline at the minute. That's a young, inexperienced backline, comparatively speaking. Saints hit by injury. I guess we'll see how it goes. Look, I'm tipping GWS 1-39, but I'm not confident. I'm not comfortable in that. You mentioned
coin flip.
It is a coin flip. Now, you mentioned the individual performances beforehand with the Crows. That's what I'm looking at here. In terms of a multi for this game, I do love a same game multi. You blokes can attest to that. I'm liking Himmelberg, 1 goal or more. Taranto, 25 touches. Now, that alone is paying $1.91. Taranto for 25. Come on. Work with me. And a bit of a weird one, if you want to go on pre-season form, Jack Loney have a goal. And Steele for the Saints, 20 touches. Loves playing against the old mob. Smack all of that together, $4.20.
I like that a lot.
Yeah,
and I brought up Zach Merritt before, but if the Saints are going to push into the top 4, which I think they absolutely can do,
knock on the door. Yeah.
I think Jack Steele has a real chance of winning a Brownlow this year.
Steele Sisson.
The old twisted steel and sex appeal, as they say.
Who says that?
I do.
And that's all I like it. I mean, look, he's been a good player for a long time. Moved from a tagging role into a
midfielder,
which you hear about.
You
hear about every single game. Who is he going to tag?
He doesn't tag anymore. He hasn't tagged for 12 months, and he has been a key cog in that St Kilda rebuild. Added some goals to his bow last year. If he can kick a few more this year, it could very well be on the cards.
Watch out, Charlie.
I disagree.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I would love that too. I would really like that.
Good looking boy. I can say that.
Respect. Just respect his game. Respect his game.
Respect the man. Yeah. Anyways, last game of the round. Oh, we're there. Here we go. Come on, last one. West Coast Eagles versus Gold Coast Suns on a Sunday afternoon at Optus Stadium. A few new faces here as well. For the Eagles, you're looking at Witherden down the back and Langdon up forward. And for the Suns, you'll be looking at Oleg Markov, big Eshe Sisson.
My boy.
I like that.
Yeah, running off the half back. You've got Atkins as well. Again, do you just feel like he'd be right in that culture as well? He's got the mo for it. He's got the mo for it. Yeah. And Townsend as well, possibly there or thereabouts, to play a bit of a sort of a small to medium-sized forward role. So, interesting. Now, Eagles, fellas, I don't know how closely you followed them in this preseason. I thought they were a bit lacklustre for mine in the 2 games they played against Freo, just compared to their usual lofty heights. And we thought, after the hub, coming back to Perth, that's where we're sat, fine, get the mojo back. Mm-hmm. Haven't really seen that spark. Maybe they were just coasting through and they don't want to get, injured, don't want to get into it too much before the season starts. And you can understand that because they're always a premiership contender. But still, Tim Kelly interrupted preseason. Shuey interrupted preseason. 2 of your big main midfield movers.
Yep, Yo out.
Yo out, do you know what I mean?
Willie Rioli still out.
Mm-hmm. Big rip.
Ouch.
Big rip.
I love Willie.
Well, who doesn't? Duggan moving into the midfield now. Interesting to keep an eye on. For the Suns, it's a tough ask here. Optus Stadium, first round up, Jeepers Creepers. But if we know the Suns, every single year they do this. They turn it on for 1 month and they destroy all before them. And they put the cue in the rack and say, well, it's April, boys. See you next preseason.
Look, if years were done at the end of round 4, Suns would be perennial champions, unstoppable force.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to cut in though, because last year they did fight majority. Like they weren't getting thumped they lost a fair chunk of games at the end of the year, but they weren't getting smashed. They weren't getting smashed by these teams. Like I remember a lot of just from memory, I remember a lot of 8 to kind of 12-point losses. That kind of just over a goal, like it was close. Like they were always in it. Yep. And so I know they still lost, and that's all that matters, like, especially when we're punting. But, like, they showed a bit of fire last year, and I think that's going to translate.
Are they now where Brisbane was 2017? Just a lot of losses, but all, like, little ones.
They're getting there.
And I hope so.
They're absolutely
I really hope so. Like, my heart says yes, but Rowley Towley's back. I like that.
Don't forget to bring around.
I love it.
Look, I really don't know what to make of the Eagles. I actually have got no idea. Like, there's not really a lot of excitement there. Their list is getting on a little bit. There's not really a lot of kids that I look at and I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's got a bit of shit about him.
Well, they traded their future away for Tim Kelly.
Yeah. Josh Kennedy, another interrupted preseason. He's declared himself fit, but that means nothing to me. I think I've got on my notes here, I actually think Oscar Allen is going to be their leading goal kicker this year.
I've got that.
Little bit of a curvy one, but I think that Darling's never really morphed into that 1A forward. Oscar Allen looks like he's going to be a really good player. And I'm getting really sick of all the chat about Matt Rao. Not because I don't like Matt Rao, because I love him.
Let him play.
Redheads, unite. He's 9th favourite for the Brownlow at the moment on Sportsbet. 9th. He's played 4 games. Yeah, Come on.
Yeah, but this league loves a narrative.
He is the Zion/LaMelo of the AFL.
But it's ridiculous. Like, he's a 19-year-old kid. Just let him play some footy. Like, it's just, Jared Witts has already been up in arms about it.
Good on him. That's what you want from your captain.
Absolutely. Because basically after every game, I don't know if you heard, Des, the media have to request certain players. They only ever really want to talk to Matt Rao. That's it. They don't want to talk to any of the other Suns players. It's just Matt Rao.
I want to see interviews with Oleg Markov, right, wearing a black Nike cap, black like zip-up jacket to the neck, the bum bag just across the shoulder. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, he would.
Oh, I'd love
talk to anyone. Talk to Ben Ainsworth. Talk to Darcy McPherson. Yeah. There's a lot of other guys on the field.
Connor Buderick.
Yep. I love Matt Rao, but let's just wind it back a little bit.
The Suns are a bigger team than one man.
Absolutely. I'm tipping Suns though.
In Perth?
What are you doing?
Yep. I'm tipping the Suns 139.
I agree totally with the whole West Coast thing. I don't think West Coast are spectacular. I don't see them as a premiership contender at all. I could honestly see them like...
That ordinarily would have been a call in itself, but I'm still reeling over here.
They beat them last year.
At the beginning of the season, though, I was sitting, and it's tough when I'm looking at top 6 and middle 6, and I've got... like West Coast, do I put West Coast in the top 6? Do I put a middle 6? And when I put them in the middle 6, you put them in that middle 6, they might... Imagine if they don't make the 8 this year. I think they will, purely from the Perth games.
Yep.
But, like...
I'm right hot on the Suns this year. Their defence was surprisingly stout last year, and I think it's going to get better again. If you don't like that, though, my best bet is Gold Coast at the line, which is currently set at 27.5 at $1.90. So if you want to give them a little bit of leeway,
interesting.
They won't need it. They won't need it.
I think I've got Eagles 1-39. I think it's going to be closer than people think, but I think they're going to get up.
I'm with you on that. I have to go with home ground advantage here and experience at playing that field. So West Coast 1-39. In terms of a multi, I'm looking at Duggan 20+ if he's playing in the midfield. I'm looking at Rowell 20+. He's back. Gaff 30+. I know I don't normally tip the 30+, but it's Gaff. Do you know what I mean? He's good for it. He's good for it. And Lockie Weller starting in forward pocket. I'm liking him for a goal.
Weller's good.
Throw them together, 4 legs, $7.40. See what you want to do with that one.
Put money on it is what I want to do on that one.
Yes, indeed you do. Now, speaking of putting money on it, last year, boys, we had a great man as part of this show. It was Safety Steve with his safety bet. I'm hearing whispers, though, that we might be having a new sponsor on board at some point for the safety bet. So I have a safety bet from Safety Steve, but in terms of an actual sponsor, we might have to wait and see. But this week's Safety Steve safety bet is interesting. He's saying 500 big ones on Tim Taranto, 20 touches at $1.22.
Delicious.
The old double T.
Interesting.
The old TT.
Interesting. Good luck to Steve there with his 500 big ones. And we'll whack that on for you. And in the meantime, if you're a sponsor and you want to get on board, we're tossing up a few options, but
we're open.
There's room. There's room to manoeuvre.
I said double T. I'm still caught on this. Tim Taranto, 20 touches. That's 4 T's, baby.
That's good energies.
That's 4 T's.
That's good.
Quad T.
Very milky, as they say.
That's good
T,
energies.
T, T,
I
T.
like that.
That's good energies.
It's a lock then.
It's
4 T's.
It's a lot.
T, 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 T.
We need to go put this
That was
man
5.
to bed. We need to put
Absolutely.
this man to bed because he's just stirred up and he's not going to get down.
Perhaps
otherwise.
permanently.
Thank you for joining us for this round 1 extravaganza. It's not been an extravaganza. We're doing it live
First
now.
video show.
We had a
mate.
scramble.
It's great.
We had a scramble. That's all that matters. My first scramble in 3 months.
This and the brain is scrambled
Yeah,
with it.
absolutely it is.
But we shall see you next week, round 2. Until then, have a good one. Take care.
Stay gold, pony boy.
Good night.